Like, I basically Marie Kondo'd my phone apps and it worked. Hello there, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. My name is Kristen and I like to make content all about technology and photography. We're gonna ride the nostalgia train for a little bit with this video. This is a what's on my iPhone 15 video, which I am obsessed with. I absolutely love watching these videos. I also love creating these videos. I think the first one I ever made was back a decade ago in 2014. I don't even remember which iPhone I had back then, but I just like to see what other people have on their iPhone and try to get some best practices for how they use it in terms of content creation, productivity, or just general lifestyle. I'm also going to be sharing my favorite feature of iOS 17.3 later on in the video, so be sure to keep on watching until the end where I chat about what I'm using in iOS 17.3, and let's just jump right into this. The first thing I did before even setting up my new home screen, which is what you can see right now, is I decluttered like crazy. I had apps on my phone from back when I was still living in Japan, like karaoke apps and apps to buy concert tickets over in Japan, just everything. And it was just like I was holding on to it and hoarding apps, so I needed an intervention, and I finally just bit the bullet and deleted any app that I didn't use. Like, I basically Marie Kondo'd my phone apps and it worked. Like, have I used this or have I touched this app in like the last 3 months? No? Okay, it's gone. First widget that you can see is at the top. It's the medium-sized widget, and I really like it. I actually got this from Color Widgets. I did bite the bullet and I decided to try the pro version of it, and I'm very pleased, but I don't know if I'm going to be keeping the subscription for $2.99 a month. But I like this widget in particular because it just shows a little bit of a breakdown of information that I like to look at throughout the day. So it has a calendar, it has my battery levels, it has when the sun sets, it has how many steps I've taken today. I'm not sure how accurate that is. I haven't checked that one yet. And then it also has my most recently played music, so you can see I was listening to Churches. The next widget I have in this stack is just a little iPod widget. This is also from Color Widgets. I just thought it was really cute and nostalgic. You can change this skin color as well, so I have like this light green going on. And it's really cool because you can actually use this like an iPod, so you can pause and play music, or you can move on to the next song or go to the previous song. So I think it's really cool that it's coded in the way that you can actually have some functionality of it rather than just having it look nice. So I'll sometimes scroll up to that throughout the day just when I want to feel nostalgic or feel a little bit more cutesy. The last app I have is TikTok. This just takes me to like the trending now or like my For You page. I decided not to have TikTok, like the actual app, somewhere on my phone, so I just threw it into a stack instead. The next stack I have is this little medium stack. Over to the right side you can see that it has a nice cute little picture of some colored hearts on it. And the way that I got this picture was on Widgetsmith, so you can go in there and one of the widget choices is actually a photo that you choose. So I find all my photos usually on Pinterest, whether it's my wallpapers or for these little widgets. And I just thought it fit with the theme, especially for Valentine's Day. And I just like having a picture to look at rather than more apps to look at, and then I just stack the apps all underneath that. So if you scroll up, you have Spark. I love Spark. I like it a lot more than the Gmail app. I just think it looks a lot cleaner, and it stresses me out less when I actually go and open the app. I don't know why. It's just a UI thing, I think, for me. The next thing I have is my notes, and so what I did for my notes app specifically on this stack is it goes straight to my business page, so then I can add things related to my business. So whether it's branding or any ideas I'm thinking of or any pertinent information related to my business that I want to keep all in one place, I have it all right here, and it's just a really easy click to get into that. So instead of having to go to my notes app separately and then scroll through, it's just right there. The last thing I have is Notion. So as you can see, this is more of my productivity stack that I have on this main page. So my Notion goes right to my content dashboard, and then from there I can look at my script that I'm doing or look at my next videos coming up. So it's just really beneficial to have that all in one spot. Now that we've gotten through a majority of the main home screen, the only thing that's really left is I just have 4 apps that aren't in some sort of stacked widget. Those are SMS, Messenger, Starbucks, and Pinterest. just the 4 main ones that I typically use throughout my day. And then at the bottom of my home screen, I have Reddit, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And going back to my minimalistic aesthetic, or like a very neutral aesthetic, you can see that there's like no color to my apps on my home screen. And I believe I got these off of Etsy. If I can find something similar, I'll post it in the link in the description below. But basically these images came in a pack, and then I just used shortcuts to edit what the pictures look like. So that was the way around kind of editing what the app looked like. That can be a whole tutorial if you guys want to know how to do that and how I set it up. Anyway, going on to the second page, this is the only other page that I have visible on at least this focus mode, on my main focus mode. And as you can see, back up at the top, I do have a stacked widget up there. This one has a few different things that I just wanted to call out too, because I really like how this stacked widget came along. The first thing that I always see is this calendar, which I created in Widgetsmith, so I could choose the coloring. And I particularly like this calendar because not only does it give a breakdown of the month, it shows like every single day of the month, but also shows me what I have coming up. So it shows like what's coming up today, what's coming up tomorrow, and I just like that as a quick little glance overview. And then the next app that I have on here is again another notes app, but this one will just take me to my main notes. The final in the stack is actually a shortcut little template, or a shortcut widget rather. And this one has a few different things that I like to use pretty frequently. So I have CapCut on there. That's what I use to edit any short form content, whether it's for Reels or YouTube Shorts. I'm not really that active on TikTok yet, but that will be coming. Canva is also in here. And then I have a new note with date. So this is a really cool shortcut where I click on this, and once it runs, it'll open up. And as you can see, it pops up with a new note, and then it also auto-populates the date in there as well too. So that's actually been really fun, just for small things that I want to just jot down really quickly. And then I also have a shortcut to a playlist that I listen to quite frequently. It's actually a friend of mine in Japan. He's in a band. We met, I think like 11 years ago now, but I absolutely love his music. I didn't even know him from his music. I met him first and then kind of fell in love with his music after that, but I like to play that. It's one of the things that calms me down the easiest and the quickest, so I have to have that on there. I listen to him almost daily. And then on this page, I do have some applications just depending on what I use the most frequently. So obviously you have the phone app, the clock, calendar, and Chrome in that top row. Midori is a translation app. So if you're studying Japanese, or if you want to study Japanese, Midori is probably my favorite translation app. I actually paid for it, and it was like 10 bucks back in the day. And then I have my Philips Hue app. I do have some Hue light bulbs that I use pretty frequently. I have an automation set for when I return home. It lights up music app, Gmail. And then on this bottom row, I have Amazon. And then I have a couple different folders. So I have one for camera things. So I have Lightroom in there, Canva, Maldive, and then Imaging Edge. This is just for my Sony cameras. It's a way to quickly just transfer all of the photos or videos to my phone. And then honestly, I could probably get rid of these. So going back to that declutter, I think I could get rid of a majority of these other apps because I haven't used them pretty much since I downloaded them. And then I just have some financials on the next folder, and then some socials and other things on the final folder. And I hate, now that I'm back in the States, that I get so many spam calls and texts because it looks like I have a ton of notifications. Really not that popular, trust me. So I think eventually I'm just gonna turn off notifications for messages because it's driving me absolutely bonkers. That is it for what's on my iPhone. If you've stuck around so far, thank you very much. And if you don't care about iOS 17.3, don't feel bad to click off the video. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm just gonna talk really quickly about my favorite feature of iOS 17.3, which is collaborative playlists. I have one friend in particular back in Japan, and he and I always liked to share music between each other, and he would actually create like monthly playlists of all the music that he was interested in or was listening to, and it was such a pain trying to share music back and forth. So he would usually create a playlist and then I would like subscribe to it or something. I don't even remember how I did it, but now it's really cool that in 17.3 you can actually make collaborative playlists. So let's go through that really quickly. We'll create a new playlist. I don't know, we'll just throw on like an emoji or something. And then you have an option to show on my profile and in search. If you want to do that, sure, why not? And then, so this is where the fun part comes in, at least for me, because I like sharing music amongst my friends. There's in this little corner top right button, you can see that it's a little person, and I don't even know what that, oh, it's like a little plus sign in there. You can invite people to join your playlist, start collaborating, and then there's an option where you can either approve collaborators or not. I don't really care. And then you can share this in a link with your friends. I'm not going to do that right away. And there's two ways to share actually. So like that link that you just saw, you can share via a link or you can share via a QR code, which I think is cool. Like I feel like so many things have now turned into QR codes. I know the Line app, which is what a lot of me and my Japanese friends use to communicate, kind of like WhatsApp or Kakao Talk. They have QR codes to scan and be friends. I know Instagram does it. It's just a new thing. So it's nice that Apple has implemented some form of QR code, because I feel like that's going to be more popular, especially if you're just like with friends and you just want to show them like your playlist and share really quickly. Otherwise, you have that share invite link, and the link does expire in 7 days, but you can always generate a new link if your friend missed out on that. So my friend who didn't update to 17.3 and I keep bugging them to do so, I'm going to have to generate a new link, and then you just click done, and then you can add music, they can add music. Just really seamless and a fun way to share what you're listening to, because back in the day, and that wasn't even that long ago, literally like 2 years ago, I was trying to share playlists with a friend of mine and it was just a nightmare. So if you've watched until the end, thank you so much. Be sure, if you've liked this video, give it a nice big thumbs up. Comment down below what your favorite iOS features so far have been. That could be going back to like old school iPhone or even some of the more recent iOS features. Let me know down below what you like. I think the collaborative playlist is probably one of my favorites of the recent updates. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. I love to make tech content like this. I'm gonna have some photography content coming up because I have a trip planned to Chicago in just a little bit. So I'm gonna dive a little bit deeper into the photography side of things. If that's more your speed, definitely stick around for those videos. I have a few on my docket that will be coming out very shortly, and I hope we can just continue growing this community. Like I said, I love to make this type of content, and I'd like to see you in the next one. Bye.